Once you get a hang of basic 2-point perspective, then you can go ahead and start making more complicated forms. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just start off with the basic cubes I made and work from them. So say I want to make an L shape. An L can kind of be carved out of a cube. Now remember, you're using kind of the sides instead of the front. Like in 1-point perspective, you dealt with the front. Now we kind of work on the side. So if I want to make my L, an L shape, first off, kind of, if I want to make it 3D looking or bulky, you don't want to just have stick figure L. That won't really work out. I'm going to need to draw it on the end here. So what I'm doing here, and I'll kind of make this darker here. Use a ruler, guys. Don't be like Miss Hedges. So that's the one side. Now that's kind of the up and down part. The left and right part, which is really a diagonal, goes back to the vanishing point. So you're not just going to draw a random diagonal line or a random horizontal. Oh gosh, that'd be terrible. It needs to be kind of going the same way, same direction. The bottom is going to the vanishing point, so the top part of that bottom part of the L also goes to the vanishing point. So this kind of point right there is going to go back to the vanishing point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this kind of really dark, and then just making sure you understand that it's going to the vanishing point. You are not making any sort of random lines. So now, I'll just erase that though. This part now does not exist. I kind of, like I said, it's like you're carving it out. You got this cube of, I don't know, something easily carvable. Nothing too hard. We don't want to chisel, you know, a rock. Something nice and light. But now I have the L here. Now these lines have to go back to the vanishing point. So this here, this corner, going back to the opposite because this one is going back to that one. Draw this nice and dark, and I'll draw the rest light so you understand it's going back to the vanishing point there. This one here, line it up to the vanishing point. Once it hits this, it goes kind of, it's going behind everything. So you're not really going to see that. This part got carved away, chiseled away. And now you have an L shape. Not so bad, right? Now say you want to make maybe like a tunnel type situation. We'll do it up here. The ones that are right on top of the horizon line aren't as interesting, so I'm just focusing on the ones below and above. Same idea. I'm going to carve out whatever shape I want from the side. So first what I'm doing is I'm kind of just drawing my 2 verticals. Now I understand there are mathematical formulas to deal with this. We're not going to do it. As things are going back in space, they're getting smaller. So if I want this to be equal, like in real life, if I flipped and turned this edge so I saw it face on or head on, and I want this and this kind of one I haven't yet drawn to be the same, I know for a fact it's going to be a little skinnier because this is getting shorter. This is something you can just eyeball. It doesn't have to be perfect. But if you want to keep that illusion, which that might need to get bigger, but we'll see. I just kind of drew that. Now, from the top, not a random diagonal. I'm not just connecting it. I'm connecting to the vanishing point. Super, super, super important. And if I have to extend that line that I drew because I was just, guessing, I'm going to extend that line. I did a pretty good job. There we are. But no random lines. Every line that goes back in space should be going to the vanishing point. And I erase those lines. This is now an opening. So I'm not going to see that. I'm not going to see this anymore. We'll see some of that still. Okay. So now let's deal with the bottom. We got this. We got this. Did I erase that by accident? Oh, Miss Hedges. Tisk, tisk. We still see this, okay? But we need here and here. Going back to the vanishing point. Super, super important. I cannot stress this enough. You're not just like, oh, I'm just gonna draw a line here, a line here. You need to be using those vanishing points. Those vanishing points are kind of telling you what you need to do. They're the boss. Going back. And you might be like, oh, but it looks so weird. It's getting smaller. It's a very kind of extreme perspective, and that's okay. So this one here needs to go back as well. Okay. Let's darken up because these got a little bit light. So we've got our U. We're gonna see some of this part of the tunnel too, but let's deal with getting this bottom part done. Where this kind of bottom here, see this? We kind of erased some of it, so I'm gonna darken it. It still exists here, because that's the end, and here. That teeny tiny thing, okay? Right here where this back line intersects here is super important, because that's going to be parallel to this. It's going to go up and down. Okay, because that's the back wall, kind of in line with that. That makes sense, right? Okay. You actually won't see up there. Will you? Actually, will you? Miss Hedges' brain isn't working today. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Yeah, I guess you would see that. So from this, I did it from this corner here. That makes more sense. Because doing it from here, it's, oh, maybe I should do it from there. Depends on how you want it to be open. We'll do it from there. Guys, it's okay to second guess yourselves. There we go. That's kind of the roof of the, so we got the wall, the side wall. Let me fix this, I erased that too much. And then kind of the ceiling. We don't want to say roof, but the ceiling of it. And now you have this kind of opened shape, okay? Keep playing around with carving out shapes. I'll continue to give you videos in making complicated forms. Good luck, everyone.